What is up, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic Friday with Dannphan. You know we love these streams, and hopefully you guys have had a pretty good week so far. It's hot now. Of course, you know, the weather has been kind of shifting back and forth. One day it'll be like 30 degrees outside, the next day it'll be 70 or 80. Now I think we're hitting close to 80 because it is really heated outside. Quite a shift. But 'tis the season. I've also been dealing with occasional allergies just because, once again, the shift in weather also means a lot of pollen in the air. A lot of flowers blooming and whatnot. But how is everybody doing this week? Hopefully everything has been great. I guess we should start off by talking about Reaper campaign. We've been doing pretty good so far. Let's see, 46 backers on Kickstarter, as well as 7 backers on Fund My Comic. For those of you who don't want to give any money towards Kickstarter or don't like Kickstarter for whatever reason, back it on Fund My Comic. It is available on other platforms, of course. But so far, doing pretty good. Pretty good. Plenty of time, of course, to get up to some of our stretch goals. Our first stretch goal being the 5K. Let's take a look-see here. What do we get at 5K? There we go. Alright. Free stickers. Oh, people really like stickers. This is something people have been telling me for a long time. Like, Dannphan, I need the stickers. We need stickers. You have a sticker cutter. Make stickers. And finally, yes, I'll give you all free stickers. Every single person who backs with a perk, you're all getting free stickers if we get up to 5K. Now we already got up to 2K, which means we get more pages, which does mean that it's going to take a little bit more time, but hopefully it won't really be that much of a dramatic difference in time. I don't think it will, because most of the extra pages that I'm including are going to be stuff like character profiles or Q&As or maps. I want to do better maps. I did do a map in the first book, but I didn't think it was that great. It was like, okay, you know, I'm using free assets, of course. It's one thing that a lot of people are going to start to notice with my art, is that a lot of free, like, assets are being used. If it works, it works. Sometimes corner cutting is okay, especially when you're doing books as long as these. But I do want the maps to look better. So, I don't know. You guys, hang on, let me shift. You guys see that? That's the map that we worked with the first book. Very simple, very simple. And those are all like kind of just like drag and drop images to make a map. It looks fine, perhaps. It's not maybe ideal. And who knows, maybe I also have like an idea to shift some things around. Hint, hint. But, yeah. We'll see where we go. I started following this one person on X, formerly known as Twitter. I prefer calling it Twitter, but I have to like make a mental check to remember to call it X. I know this one person who like exclusively does maps, and their work is pretty good, and I've been thinking about maybe I should reach out to them for something. Maybe just give them like a draft of what I had in mind and have them make it look pretty. There's a thought. Oh, Matthew, thank you for the 50. Happy Friday. I was going through your old content and you covered more comic drama. Wade, Vic Mignogna, etc. Is there no more drama, or are you steering away from drama content? Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people still consider my comic read-throughs to be like drama content. I don't see a whole lot of value in a lot of comic drama, because a lot of it is honestly, it seems to just be one side eating themselves. You know what I mean? most of the indie comics drama is just like right-leaning indie comic creators attacking other right-wing indie comic creators. I don't really see so much value in that. Maybe it's just me, but there certainly has been recent drama. I think the most recent drama that I've heard about is Druaga and EVS. And I'm still kind of confused why they split up. I'm still kind of confused, like, how the drama happened. I know that the inciting incident was Druaga on one of his own live streams said that he didn't think Comicsgate should be attacking like other indie creators as often as they do, or he said that they treated PTP unfairly. I don't know who PTP is. I don't know what PTP did. I'm a little bit out of the loop, right? But that's the thing that set people off and decided that he was irredeemable and had to be kicked out. I don't know. He seemed very tame. I like looked at the stream because I was trying to figure out like what happened. Why do they hate each other all of a sudden? I was looking on his stream and he seemed like really, I don't know, tame. He's like lukewarm in his takes, and it's only until later that he started like getting more aggressive. But that's not when people were upset about him. They were upset at him from him nervously saying, "I don't think we treated PTP well." And that's the only thing that I really understand about the drama. I don't understand anything else. I don't get it. But that was the latest thing. And I know that EVS is always talking shit on Rippaverse. I know that Rainy had a drama with EVS, and my only understanding of that was that she told him she doesn't want to be on his streams if he's going to make fun of her. And then he was like, "Fuck you, bitch." And then that's the only thing that I understand from that. That's it. I think I covered every single drama with EVS that I know about. Everything else, anything outside of this, not super informed. Yeah, best to stay out of the drama, Dan. It's messy, trust me. It seems like it. It doesn't look good, though. It doesn't look good for indie comics if everybody's always, like, getting in drama with each other. It makes us look like a joke, you know? Like, we can't work together. But, and that's my main issue with it. I understand people could very well be justified in being angry, but overall it's a bad look to publicize and air out your dirty laundry. But you know, it's true, a lot of creators, both in comics and out of it, basically just accuse each other of being grifters, among other things. Yeah, it does seem like that. A little bit of a witch hunt. And I get it. I get it. There are a lot of grifters in comics. There are a lot of people who had no interest in comics, all of a sudden, boop! All of a sudden they come out with a comic. And then they're like, buy it. Buy it, please. Money, please, you know? And it's a little bit strange. It's like, wait a minute, you've never done comics before. And I'm sure I've been called on both sides a talentless hack. That's fine, whatever. People don't like... I have... So, like, most people who take sides in the drama thing, they usually have one of two opinions of me. They're either like, I don't really like her that much, or they're like, I'm pretty lukewarm on her. Either way, it's not a very extreme opinion, but I don't know. That usually tends to be my experience with the drama tubers. Or do they call them bread tubers? What do they call them? Shows you how much I watch this content. Not at all. Not at all. I'm very much out of the loop. So, yeah, as far as me making drama-related videos, I got really sick of always covering news stuff. And to be fair, I would be more successful if I did cover it. I'd be a much more successful YouTube channel if I covered what's the latest in the media news and, you know, drama happening here, drama happening there. People usually enjoy my takes on drama, even though I'm not super interested in it all the time. Every now and then I'm a little interested, most of the time not really. And then there's also like, what is the value of this? What do I get from covering this? Views? Well, views don't really matter if they're not going to convert into sales, you know? So, what do? I just become a drama YouTuber? I don't really... no value there for me. But yes, you'll notice that every now and then I just have a video that goes viral, and it's usually when I'm covering something relevant. Like the Freeman Demon poster video that I did. That was very off-brand for the channel. It's not the type of video I usually make. But it popped off and it did very well on YouTube because it was relevant to something that had just recently happened. And then the latest video, Harley Quinn Farttacular, didn't enjoy that one, but that got a lot of views. Same reason, because it's relevant, because people are talking about it. So yes, if I did cover more relevant topics, probably would be exploding on YouTube all the time. But do I really want to make my channel that? Not ideally. It's not on my goal list, you know? But, you know. We don't want Dannphan to become a drama channel, right? I don't think you have to worry about that. I did get a little bit wound up about something earlier today. And I wasn't sure if I should talk about that on stream. It's just like this one channel that kind of annoys me. But once again, that would be participating in drama. Oh no. Thanks for the 5, Gil. Here's for reading through that Harley Quinn book. You're a stronger person than I am to read something that stinks. Yeah, literally. I hear that the actual physical comic was a scratch and sniff. Why? Why would you do this? That's a bad idea. I mean, I guess it's a good idea for a particular niche of people. But I don't think that's the majority of people that you want as your audience. The person behind the Harley Quinn Farttacular swore that it was not a fetish comic, and that all of the criticisms towards the comic was simply because people were misogynistic. That's what I heard anyway. The comments section filled me in on that one. But I don't know. I think a lot of the critiques were a little bit on point based on what I've read. I can see the influence of kids' cartoons in the comic, but just because it's influenced by infantile kids' cartoons, it does not mean that it's necessarily for kids in how it's structured. You can just have something be inappropriate for kids and have infantile writing. That's just, you know, kind of how it is. Sad, but true. It was... People also say, oh, well, it's a kid's comic. Like, why are you expecting it to be good? All kids' comics are bad. It's not made for you, etc. It was aimed at teens. It was aimed at younger teens, I believe, like 13 plus. I don't know if they're super interested in fart humor, but maybe. There's certainly adults that are interested in fart humor. I'm just not one of them. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said at the beginning of the video. There are people who like fart jokes. I'm just not one of them. Just I knew that I was gonna not really like it going in. The weird sexual stuff was additional cringe, as well as the additional, like, feminist commentary is pretty bad. Not good. I hope teens don't read that comic. We don't need any more people with fart fetishes in the world. Yeah, and inflation fetish. They put that one in there too. Don't know what the idea of that was. But yeah, so next up, and this is a comic that I said was going to be next up last time, but then I forgot about Harley Quinn Farttacular, so I had to get that video up for April Fools. Because it's kind of mandatory. If they're going to push the Harley Quinn comic as an April Fool's joke, haha, trust me bro, we're joking, then obviously I have to publish the video on April Fools. That's how that works, you know? But the actual next read-through that I was trying to do was The Strange Case of Harleen and Harley. So I did that read-through before Farttacular, actually. Little did I know how bad Harley Quinn stories could get when I first read that. But that should be out probably by next week. And, I think that's it. I could probably summarize the comic for you before that video even comes out. It's basically just the meme, be gay, do crime. That's what it is. Strange Case of Harleen and Harley, obviously referencing Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yes, it is the exact same plot. Harley Quinn now has a split personality. One is like Harleen, self-insert nerdy girl, and the other one is Harley, the crazy clown bitch. And that's what the comic is about, and like Farttacular, it is once again aimed at teens. Teen girls, I think, specifically. And not very good. It's not very good. But I guess at least there is no fart jokes in that one. So, some might consider it a palate cleanser. Not that the writing is that much improved, but, you know. I would actually argue maybe it's written worse than Farttacular. Because this is the one compliment I can give. The only compliment I can give to Farttacular is that they do tie up the plot threads. They don't do it well, they don't do a very good job, but they do tie them up. They have somewhat of a conclusion, which is that there's no conclusion. She's just lactose intolerant. Oh yeah, okay, thanks. It's not a good ending, don't get me wrong, but there is an ending. That is the compliment I can give. Compared to other DC YA that I've read, there are in fact books from DC in the YA section that do not have proper endings and do not finish a plot, essentially. They have all of these different tangents happening and then they don't conclude anything. There's a bunch of those, in fact. And it's frustrating. It's the most time-wasting feeling that you can get when you read something. But yeah. Yeah, that book was aimed for teens. Unfortunately. They're trying to corrupt our youths. They are, though. It's true. We were too harsh on Twilight. It does make you feel like that, right? Well, keep in mind, Twilight was the first step towards this direction. Start with the normie stuff and then get more and more degen as they go on. When was the last time Harley had a good run? Seems like a lot of the writers have pigeonholed her for the worse. It does seem like that. Honestly, I can't even recall a single Harley Quinn comic that I've enjoyed. I've essentially, the moment Harley Quinn peaked for me was just Batman the Animated Series, and that was her original appearance. I don't think it's ever gotten better than that. It's just always been, that's the peak, everything else was slow downhill slide. Maybe not even that slow, if we're being honest. People like the character, but they just don't utilize her very well. And Farttacular is another good example of them just not using her very well. I wonder if they actually thought it would get sequels. What's worse, this or I Am Not Starfire? I suffered more reading Farttacular. I Am Not Starfire is very bad, but I didn't suffer as much mentally. You know what the problem is? I Am Not Starfire is longer. That's what pushes it over the edge, is how long it is. And once again, a lot of tangents that they just don't wrap up. Because, I don't know, I guess Tamaki is not that good of a writer. Or forgot that they wrote all these tangents that don't have conclusions. It happens, you know. It's still more of a conclusion for that comic than for other comics, for sure. I think if I were to rank, like, worst comics I've ever read, I've read a lot of bad comics, guys. I've read a lot. Farttacular is pretty up there, just because I suffered a lot while reading it. Like, it was pain. There's some amusing cringe, where it's, like, really funny to read along, even though you know that it's really bad. Like, Avengers Academy sort of falls under that category. It's super cringe, it's super, like, stupid, but it's entertaining cringe, so you can kind of keep reading. Farttacular was not that. It was not entertaining. It was very painful experience reading that. And then another example would be Mother of Madness. Very painful read. Very painful. It was not even interesting. That's the biggest sin Mother of Madness makes. I have no idea what's going on, and it's not interesting what is going on, and it's very painful to read. It's also longer than Farttacular, so that, once again, pushing it over the edge a little bit. And those, I think, are probably the two most painful comics that I've had to read on the channel. I think, unless I'm forgetting some, my mind, like, blacking out certain ones. Oh, you know, Under the Moon was pretty bad. That was another really painful read. DC Pride! That's right! I did block one out. DC Pride. I blocked out of my memory. I didn't finish that one. I didn't finish it. It was so fucking bad. I was like, I can't mentally do this. It's too long and too bad. I had to back out for my own mental health. DC Pride 2024. Couldn't even finish. Yep, that's the one. Oh my god, I made that video 31 minutes? I'm so sorry. It should not be that long. Not everybody can last that long. I'm so sorry. I should have tried to shorten that video. That's a lot of cringe in 30 minutes. And I didn't finish. I didn't even finish that, and that video's 30 minutes long. Fuck. I'm sorry. That's a mistake on my part. But yeah, that one's pretty bad. That one's pretty painful. That's not one story, though. That's multiple stories. It's an anthology. So I don't know if that counts, honestly. But that one's really, really bad. If we're counting anthologies, that one's number one. That was awful. Yeah, 31 minutes of hell. Exactly right. Yeah, it's so bad it needs to get the Burnett Mount Doom treatment. If DC Pride, do I even need to guess what that is about? Oh, yeah, you got it. You got it. It's just a bunch of, they just take a bunch of characters from the DC universe who are gay and then write one-off stories with them. But it's really awful. all of the stories are really awful in that DC Pride 2024. They're just so bad. Fuck. I mean, you know it's bad if I can't finish it. I've read all of these different DC comics that were absolute cringe on the channel. I've filled up, like, a bunch of videos, just playlist after playlist. Let me actually look through. How many videos do I have on my Let's Read Comics playlist? How bad has this gone? Let's Read Comics. 108 videos! Fuck. That's 108 videos of pure pain, guys. Pure pain. Granted, I used to separate the read-throughs into parts, so that's not 108 comics, but still, that's a lot. That's a lot of videos. That's a lot of pain. Is there ever a gay villain? Yes, and they're always redeemed. Farttacular, going from reviews, could have worked as part of an anthology, maybe between two relatively serious stories as a comedic break. Not the way that it was written, but sure. It would have to be much shorter. And I think it would have worked a lot better if it was shorter, honestly. Like, what's the point of her stabbing a guy to death in the park? In Cal Art style, just stabbing him with an ice cream cone, blood bursting out of his neck. What was the point of that? Other than to be like, don't litter. It's so random. It doesn't... Yeah. The comic itself is over-bloated in its story. I edited a lot out to make that 13-minute video. I kinda knew that people would not want to hang around for that long because of the content itself. But that's what it ended up being. No 100-yard stare yet. What is this song? It's so familiar, but I can't place it. Oh yeah, this is some copyright-free music. Kevin MacLeod. Kevin MacLeod. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes when I'm like sounding out a word, I get a little retarded. Don't mind me. I believe it's called Thatched Village. You know, it's just kind of chill, medieval-esque music because of Reaper Book 1 funding on Indiegogo. Yes, or not. Funding on Kickstarter and Fund My Comic. Not on Indiegogo. We don't do that anymore. I'm not even that tired. I don't have an excuse. I don't have an excuse for saying wrong words anymore. You mean book 2? Did I also say book 1? My god, I'm like time traveling back into the past and talking about book 1. Book 1 was on Indiegogo. That's the funny part. And I didn't have a very good experience on Indiegogo, but I don't think many people do anymore. It used to be the place to be for crowdfunding comics. Now it's kinda sucks. It kinda sucky. For a bunch of different reasons, really. I think I might have already, like, broke down all the issues with Indiegogo before. So, I won't get into it, but, you know. Afternoon Dan, nice music indeed. If you want similar music, check out the Fetcher Brothers. They're good. Is the music too loud, by the way? The first time I've ever heard anyone comment on the music. Maybe it's louder than my voice, I don't know. I didn't do a test. Ooh. The Dannphan Renaissance Fair. Maybe it is too loud. My bad, guys. Let me turn it down. I think I usually have it, like, here. Well, I guess it's not that much of a difference. It's a tad loud? Yeah, okay. I don't want it to be a tad loud. DC will make a Beast Boy pet play comic and swear it isn't a fetish. They will. They will do that. They will definitely do that. You're right on target. In fact, I'm sure somebody at DC is writing this down right now. Music volume is very subtle. I have headphones on and it was good to go for me. Volume is good enough. Everyone has their own take, I guess. They haven't already. I mean, they might have. They might have already, I don't know. I'll have to look on whatever DC Comics have come out. I know, okay, so I don't know if any of you have heard of this one. I know that right now DC Comics, they're doing a couple webtoon-esque things on their DC Unlimited app. One of the things that they've been putting out is a Raven isekai, like Raven from Teen Titans getting isekai'd into fantasy world. And then they did a love triangle. Because that's what they do. So she's like trying to get together with like... She's like already dating Beast Boy, I think, in the comic. But then she just cheats on him with some other night guy. Fuck DC. What? Anyway, I didn't read that one. I have a friend who's reading that one, and that's what he told me. He was giving me the deets on that comic over there, and I was like, should I be reading this on the channel? Is this bad enough for the channel? And he's like, no, it's mostly boring. It's mostly boring instead of cringe. So I didn't really bother reading it, but we always could. If you're really that curious, we'll do like a fan vote. Isekai Raven doesn't sound bad by itself, to be honest. I don't know. I'm a little bit prickly towards the isekai genre, just because it's all really oversaturated, and people rarely ever do anything interesting with it anymore. Or people don't even care about writing it well anymore. They don't care about being creative with the isekai genre because they're like, oh, well, it'll sell anyway because it's just an isekai. You know? Why is it always a love triangle? Why not a love square or a love pentagon? Oh, there's those too. They usually are harems. But, you know. School Rumble, I think, is a good example of a love pentagon. If you want to check out a love pentagon, go time travel back to the 2000s. Check out School Rumble. You'll get your love pentagon. Yeah, he reads that while you read the fart comic. Oh, he read the fart comic too. He actually, I think he advised me not to read it on the channel, but I knew that it was gonna get a lot of views just because it was relevant. And he kind of had the opinion of, oh, well, because everybody's covering it, maybe nobody will be interested in what you have to say on it. But, I think I did the best coverage of it. Because I actually read it live on the video. So everybody kind of... I mean, I did cut out a lot. But I usually cut out things that were not at all important to understand the story. I did more editing than the editor of the comic to make it as clean and flow as well as possible. There's an anime with a Red Ranger gets isekai'd into a fantasy world. Interesting. I would read that. I would read that, but then I might get disappointed if it was just like another generic isekai thing that doesn't try to be creative with the writing. Yeah. I've been, like, disappointed by Ranger-esque manga before. So, even though I'm like generally kind of interested in what could we do with the subgenre of rangers, right? In manga, what can we do with this subgenre of a team of superheroes who protect the Earth from aliens? Usually aliens, sometimes it's something else, but usually it's a team of superheroes who protect the Earth from aliens, right? Usually don't have superpowers, but just have super suits. Hence, you know, the ranger look. There's stuff you can do with this. I see potential here for this to go other directions. But I very rarely see it go anywhere interesting. Obviously, there's love after world domination, which I do actually like. I like that one. It's a romance, it's a rom-com, but it's creative. I enjoy it. Yeah, Super Sentai genre, sure. It's just freedom-flavored Kamen Rider. Yes, absolutely. Did you see the new Superman movie sneak peek? I didn't see that. Granted, I'm a little bit out of the loop when it comes to movie stuff coming out. I kind of stopped watching superhero movies a long time ago, just being honest. And God knows I'm not watching any of the new Disney movies. Oh my God, the Snow White. Don't even go down that rabbit hole. But, you know, I am watching occasionally a new anime. So I started following up with, I guess, a previous video. I started looking into season 2 of Tower of Druaga. And honestly, kind of enjoying season 2 so far. It feels much better than season 1. It feels so much cleaner. I've not finished it yet, so I don't know if they're gonna hit me in the face with another like super stupid parody episode, but for now it's been maintaining a good balance, an actual good balance of comedy and seriousness. I think season 2 of Tower of Druaga might be a winner. It might be a winner. The epic comeback of Tower of Druaga. We'll see. When I finish season 2, maybe I'll do an update video on it. But it's been pretty good. Please excuse me, my subtle lip licking. It's just that I cut the bottom of my lip, so it's like a little bit painful. That's all. Instead of isekai to fantasy world, why not isekai to a historical event? That's always more interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, I've certainly seen people try that too. Sometimes they have a really good idea of, like, what would be a good, interesting clash. And then sometimes it's just nothing there. Yeah. Ironically, I've been reigniting my love for the classic Disney films, particularly Cinderella. Cinderella's a banger. It's an absolute banger, man. I really love Sleeping Beauty, too. And Snow White is good. Snow White is good, in fact. I feel bad because Snow White, compared to other Disney princess films, did not get as much... what's the word I'm looking for? It's very short compared to other Disney princess films, and they had a lot of cut content just to get the film finished. And I feel like Snow White could have been really, like, extra if they were able to put the cut content back in to the original movie. And they had the potential to touch on the extra content in the live action movie, and they didn't do that. They decided to shit all over it instead. So we're not watching live action Snow White. No, we're not doing that. But yeah. Original cartoon Snow White is pretty good. It's pretty solid. Simple, but effective. Could have been even better if they had more scenes, but it's a very brief but enjoyable film. That's what I think. Wasn't the parody episode your favorite part? No, the first episode was good. It was funny. Okay, the first episode was funny, but that was before I knew what was the rest. There's other parody episodes that are not funny at all. That's the problem. There's other parody episodes in the series that are not funny and really stupid and take away from the serious nature of the overall series. The first episode is funny, but you don't know that the series is going to be serious when you're going into it, which is kind of part of the problem. If they had introduced more parody episodes and they were also dream sequences, maybe that would have been fine. But a lot of the jokes in Tower of Druaga Season 1 were not good. Really, the first episode was the only good example of good Tower of Druaga jokes. And that was it. Afterwards, there's a huge drop in quality. And I actually think the best episodes of Tower of Druaga were probably the last couple? Like the last 2 or 3, maybe? If I am to rank them based on seriousness, the episode 2 was like really interesting and slow-paced, but it just didn't fit with the pacing of episode 1, and that was the real issue with it. But if it had consistently had that pacing, it would have been perfectly fine. You know, there's a whole lot of nuance when it comes to the issues with that. But yeah, I had that as part of my 3 reviews from the thrift store. If you guys haven't seen the thrift store anime review, I'd like to do another one of those videos, of course, but I gotta head on over to the thrift store and we'll pick out more DVDs and watch more of them. So, might take me a while. Until then, you can enjoy wonderful DCYA read-throughs. Right? Oh yes, wonderful. Yes, feed me more DC slop. Oh, man. Yeah, so we got more Avengers Academy coming up. And then we have the Strange Case of Harleen and Harley. And then next might be our most ambitious comic read-through. The Blue Beetle YA. And I know some of you don't understand. Well, hang on a second, Dannphan. What is so ambitious about this Blue Beetle YA comic? Let me tell you. I've not read it yet, of course, because I'm waiting for the video. My friend informs me that it is the most painful read out of any DCYA, including Farttacular. Including Farttacular. He swears by this. He's like, Dannphan, I read trash comics, more trash comics than you do. And even I needed to take a break in the middle of this Blue Beetle comic. Now this is saying something, guys. I'm a little bit scared to go into this Blue Beetle YA graphic novel, but I will, for the sake of content, to save the YouTube world from DC YA comics. But no, he really hyped this up. He hyped up that Blue Beetle YA comic as the worst thing ever. And considering I could not finish DC Pride, he finished DC Pride. I couldn't finish it. I was like, oh fuck, I need a break. It was just really demoralizing. But he somehow finished that anthology. And he needed a break from Blue Beetle, of all things. The Blue Beetle DCYA. Now I can imagine maybe part of it is the length. A lot of these DCYA books, part of the reason why they're so awful is because of the length. Because there's so much awfulness that you can fit into something the longer that it is. But I don't know. I don't know how bad this is gonna get going in. I'm interested. we'll see if I can finish it when we get into actually reading that. This is the closest I get to actually promoting my dark fantasy series. We're just reading all these cringy comics. Go back the campaigns. Whichever one you want. If you want Kickstarter, it's there. If you want to back it on Fund My Comic, it's there. Go support indie comics, people. It's dark fantasy adventure. It's about guy gets cursed by sword. Has to go remove his curse before he becomes a revenant. Sick. Good stuff. Gotta save the girl and her chicken. Hang on, where's the page? There we go. That's who you gotta save. You gotta save her. Ooh. She's gonna get eaten. Gotta save her and her chicken. That's what you gotta do. Go back the campaign. I'm so bad at self-promoting. Jesus. Now, part of what I'm referencing is, me and Adam were playing, like... Well, he was playing it. I was just backseat gaming. He's playing... What was it called? It's not Dungeon Crawler. It's the Don Bluth game, right? Dragon's Den? Is it Dragon's Den? Or Dragon's Dungeon? Like, no, it's not Dragon's Den. That's the fucking BBC show. What was the Don Bluth game? Dragon's Lair! You son of a bitch, you knew it. Dragon's Lair. Sorry. Yeah, so he was playing Dragon's Lair, and we get to the part where, like, the princess is, like, floating in her bubble, and she's like, ooh! You know? And I'm not... I'm not really exaggerating that much. That is kind of just how she is. She's like, ooh! She's got the squeaky voice and everything. It's adorable. It is. She got a little bit of nip showing too. And we're like commentating, obviously, on like how she's being depicted as being like this attractive girl that you want to save, and kind of making fun of it at the same time. Because we can just imagine these young boys in the arcade playing Dragon's Lair and just repeatedly more and more and more quarters like, I gotta save this girl. She's so fucking hot, you know? So, in a way, that's what I'm referencing with this page. It's like, oh my god, I gotta save this girl, she's so hot. But she's not doing the Princess Daphne, ooh! So, maybe it doesn't work as well. Gotta add in a panel of her doing that, you know? And then that's how we'll get the backers. That's how we're gonna do it, man. I gotta innovate. That's the way that we're gonna succeed in the end. Yes! Save me! Exactly. It's another thing that she just calls out while you're, like, carrying her out on your back. Booty in your hand, you know? She's great. I like how she says, save me. It's perfect. The voice, honestly, it adds a lot to the character. It does. And considering that she barely has any lines, and the fact that she's still iconic despite that, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Kind of reminds me of how when they introduced Daisy into Mario, they had her just like call out, "Hi, I'm Daisy," so that people know what her name is. But now the only thing that me and Adam know about Daisy is that one line where she goes, "Hi, I'm Daisy." But to be fair, never forgot her name. So, it did help. Yeah. Dragon's Lair is kind of a pun, because the guy ends up slaying the dragon. Well, it is... The lair itself does belong to the dragon. He just goes into the lair to kill the dragon. But yeah. Princess Daphne's transparent veil is everything. It was very sparkly, wasn't it? But yeah. So, what else has happened? Has any news happened recently that I should be discussing? I know somebody mentioned, like, drama and whatnot, but I really don't think I have much to add to the drama, because I don't really understand it. I just have I have a difficult time wrapping my head around, like, what is the actual problem. And I guess a lot of drama kind of turns out like that. Let's see. The Devil May Cry Netflix came out. And so far the only thing I've heard about it, is that they're gonna do the demons are actually the good guys. Anyone else hear about this? Now, I've actually started playing the first Devil May Cry game. I was hoping to stream it more this week, but we just didn't get to it. But pretty good game so far. I didn't get that far, but like I said, I was hoping to play it more if we streamed more, and we just didn't get there. Yeah, Freeman got demons correct. Absolutely. Let's see, there is an article about this. This article is titled, Netflix's Devil May Cry turns Dante's story into an allegory for war on terror, complete with American invasion of hell, set to Green Day's American Idiot. What the fuck did I just read? Hang on. Are you seeing this? What? What happens? Run that by me one more time? There's an American invasion of hell, and they play American Idiot? First of all, American invasion of hell sounds like a great use of taxpayer money. Not even being ironic. Not even. I mean, like, if we could kill all the evil in the world and become immortal, that'd be pretty nice. What the fuck is this? Why did they do that? Oh, there's a spoiler warning. Guys, should I keep scrolling to spoil this Netflix series for you? Part of me is curious, just to hear what they have to say. But yeah, Netflix sucks ass. Netflix got a Netflix. Wow, so subtle. Yep, the American troops invade hell, and that song does indeed play. Oh, okay. Bruh, the war on terror was 2 decades ago. Oh, I saw the video of it, but I thought it was an edit. They actually play Green Day. Oh, oh no. I heard it isn't good, so do whatever. Can't spoil it more than they did by making it. Go ahead, nobody's gonna watch this. Okay, let me see. The inhabitants of hell are creatures of natural evil. Yeah, he's going over the original. In Shankar and Netflix take on the series, hell is instead depicted as a full-on separate universe. a la DC or Marvel Comics. They did a multiverse with hell! Oh no! With its inhabitants not demons, but rather a related but separate evolutionary branch from Homo sapiens. Oh no, they're minorities, guys. I just recently did a fucking meme of this. I think it actually blew up on Twitter. Every now and then I also have a Twitter post that blows up. I'm the occasionally make something that blows up person, it seems like. There it is. Because people were arguing about Freerin, and this one post was like, Freerin is like putting fuel to people who want to kill minorities or whatever, because demons are just like minorities. So I made this meme. Because it seems like people just don't understand the very basic concept of demons. Demons are supposed to represent evil, not humanity. Not humanity. They're not supposed to be human. They're not representing any race of human. They're their own thing. It's more so in Freerin supposed to be a monster. And even in Freerin, if you watch the show, you'll notice not all demons even look human. Some of them look like monsters. So, yeah, there's the meme. Demons are not human. Yup. They eat humans, like monsters. Makes sense to me. So it's okay to kill them. But they're like minorities! That's it. That's the meme. So this blew up. I had no idea that this was also happening. I just saw that discussion on Freerin Twitter, and I was like, Freerin Twitter, don't make me come over there. Because, you know, it's a funny thing to post because I'm the person who had the video that blew up talking about this demon poster. And, yeah, honestly, I could have made this meme better if I had spent more time on it, but I just... That's the first thing that came to my head when I saw Freerin trending on Twitter, and that was the discussion people were having. Yeah, so minorities eat humans? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, that's the issue, isn't it? It's almost like they're not human. Oh, crazy. It's almost like there's something separate. Crazy. I know. Alright. Let's keep reading this. I want to see what else happens. They're natives of another universe, one that exists parallel to our own. I hate that. I hate that so much. Alright. Cheetah Staff's a mysterious terrorist group that laid waste to the Vatican just hours prior to the start of the first episode. My current hypothesis is that one of our common ancestors found their way into this other universe where they adapted and became stronger. Okay, so demons are better than humans. Okay, whatever. Able to survive the more hostile environment there. Just to be clear, the hostile environment you're talking about is hell. Mythological exists to explain reality. Why do you think every culture on Earth tells the same stories about demons in the underworld? God, this is so Castlevania bait. Once again, the Castlevania. Did I ever bitch about... I know I bitch about the raped Alucard in the ass until he was gay part of Castlevania, but did I ever bitch about the cross thing in Castlevania? That made me roll my eyes so hard. Ugh. They tried to explain, why do vampires fear the cross if God doesn't exist in this universe? Because we changed the lore. And he's like, oh yeah, it's because they have bad vision. So, like, holding a shape to their face confuses them. It's the most stupid thing I've ever heard! That's so stupid! You cowards! Make God real! Absolute cat. You can't do fucking... I'm gonna do vampires. I'm gonna do demons. Oh, but God isn't real. Can't put God or the devil or any biblical force in my TV show. Cowards. Then don't do a Devil May Cry series, honestly. To this end, it's further revealed that rather than a world of fire, brimstone, and eternal pain, hell, or the Japanese Makai, as its inhabitants refer to it, is instead a planet whose surface has been absolutely ravaged by the plundering of demons' upper castes. In doing so, practically leaving its lower class... more human inhabitants to either die by starvation or choking on polluted air. Fuck. It just keeps going. Enter the series' main antagonist, the White Rabbit who... Oh no! The White Rabbit who has made it his mission to help those suffering in Makai to cross over to Earth in the hopes of escaping their torment and someday thriving. We got refugees from hell. Okay, even if it means his forceful manipulations of the barrier between the two planes allows for the occasional monstrous demon to cross over and wreak havoc. God damn it, it's literally about immigration. How do you take Devil May Cry and make it about immigration? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, don't forget the crowning achievement where the turned priest creates holy water, but you know God can't be in the show. Nah, it's not my show. Make demons evil again? Fuck yeah. Woe to you when you call evil good and good evil. Yes, indeed. Oh no, climate change is the problem. Have you guys seen that one review I did of the Angel Sanctuary? Literally the plot is that hell... It's very similar to this, actually. Hell is... becoming destroyed, or Gehenna, or whatever they called it, is destroyed because of climate change. Oh, it's parody levels. Fucking terrible. Because my politics, yeah, basically. That cross scene in Castlevania almost made me drop the series. Episode 1 made me drop this series. I have different standards, though. This reminds me, I should play the games. I started DMC 3 last year, but haven't had to get back to it. Had the chance to get back to it, I assume. Yeah, I haven't finished 1 yet. I was hoping to stream that more often. I'd like to do the entire series, honestly. I've been enjoying what I've seen. It's a shame that the Netflix show just decided to be bad instead of deciding to be good. That's a shame. Yeah, the very on-the-nose demons equals refugees analogy is driven home even harder in episode 5 when Lady, acting on orders to storm a local tenement building occupied by the White Rabbit's forces and either arrest or kill any and all demons, is impeded in her efforts by the series' rendition of the Anglo-demon, which shouldn't exist given the series' established timeline, as it doesn't seem as if Donte has even fought the original. Yeah, okay. Whatever. I don't think they really care about the Devil May Cry timeline, bro. I don't think they're trying with this one. Okay. The lady attempts to hide in a nearby apartment, begging with its scared occupants, a family of 3, for help before reluctantly being allowed in. After managing to evade a subsequent sweep of the apartment, finding herself shocked, find the family were not human but demon. Lady, under the influence of a hallucinogen lobbied at her by said enemy, begins to mistake her hosts for aggressive hellspawn, prompting her to draw her gun on them under the assumption of self-defense. Oh, God. It's a racism allegory, too. Ugh, it doesn't work if she's under a hallucinogen, though. Whatever. Yeah, I don't really care about this dialogue. It's stupid. Oh, it just keeps on going, huh? Yeah. 9th grade AP US politics level criticism of the Iraq war home. Enter the series' overarching villain, United States Vice President William Baines. Oh, fuck. William Baines is coming after you. So scared of this William Baines villain. Yeah, never mind the super horrifying looking demons. William Baines, though. So scary. You know what's more scary than demons, guys? Politicians. My politics. Yeah. I don't like this at all. We still have more to go on the story breakdown, though, so why don't we just read the rest? I don't think it's that much more. He's a deeply religious man whose utmost belief amounts to everything according to God's plan. So he has military actions against hell, because the Bible. Even I, for much of my life, could not comprehend his true plan. The VP pontificates as his plan begins to come to fruition in the season finale. God has never asked us to sit idly by and await his kingdom on earth, but to build it ourselves. Ultimately getting his hands on the White Rabbit's aforementioned device, Baines proceeds to rip open a tear between earth and hell. What does any of this have to do with Donte? And that's when a squadron of fighter jets begin raining missiles into hell, kicking off a full-on montage set to the tune of Green Day's American Idiot. And then he announces to the world, the truth is hell is real, demons are real. And this is unbelievable. I kinda knew when I saw Devil May Cry Netflix series was gonna come out. I kinda knew that they were gonna make the demons good guys, right? It's what they do. It's what they always do. They have a one-trick pony, you know? They just pull it out. Demons good. Humans bad. That's all they do. Anything other than human is they want to do the good guys. It's kind of just, you know, it's subversion, is it? Or are you just like self-hating? Yeah. William is the Baines. Alright, well, we are past the 1 hour that I usually allot to Friday with Dannphan, but it was really interesting going over these spoilers with you guys. I am not watching this series. No. No, thank you. Not subversion, perversion. Hey, you know what's up. Okay. So no, not watching Devil May Cry series. I'm going to do myself the service of finishing the games and figure out what the story in the games are. That's what I want to do. And I don't see any reason to see a bastardized version of what the games are trying to be. But we have campaign. If you want to see original version of Reaper before Netflix takes my character, rapes him in the ass until he's gay, this is the time to do it. Secure your copy of Reaper, the Beasts and Men. We have pages to show if you want a little bit of a sneak preview into what to expect in the comic, what kind of rewards we got hustling. You know, oh look at that, soul vials. They glow. They glow now. check out the Kickstarter, or if you're not into Kickstarter, you think Kickstarter is dumb and gay, then you can check out Fund My Comic, as it is also funding on there. Thank you guys. Thank you. I must shill. It is my job. I'm sorry. But it's the only way that people will know that I make comics. People are still confused. I gotta keep on reminding. Gotta keep on reminding you guys. By the way, I make comics. Been making comics for a while now. Werewolves, yes. Yeah, we got werewolves. We got werewolves. Thank you for the 10, Captain Hyrule. I understand that back in the day, Native Americans and African tribes were portrayed as evil. That doesn't mean you overcorrect and portray literal hellspawns as good. Well, that's the thing, right? Because Native Americans and Africans, they're human. Demons are not. Why, yeah, it is so much an overcorrection. And you should be standing up for actual humans, rather than trying to say, oh, well, actually, this other fantasy race is way better than humans. You should hate yourself for being human, actually. That's not good for your mental health. It's not good for anyone, really. But you know how it is. So, yeah. Humans up here, demons down here. You can kill it. You can kill demons. I don't care. Kill as many demons as you'd like, in fact. Kill demons, kill monsters, kill them all. It's good. Oh yeah, wait, you're not a professional YA reader? I guess I'm both at this point in time, right? People probably more so know me from the I've done a lot of popular ones, just because there's so many of them to read. But yes, happy Friday, everybody. We're gonna call it here, and I'll see you next Friday for another fantastic Friday with Dannphan. Good night, everybody, or see you later. Bye. Go back, Reaper.